Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. Today we are going to look at Filecoin, continuing the Would I Buy series or Should You Buy Not Financial Advice series. This is installment 27 of 1001, and you can see the entire playlist in the description of this video. Before we dive in, if you like this content, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. But let's go ahead and dive on into this. Would I buy Filecoin in the bear market? Yes, yes, and yes. This is an enthusiastic yes for more reasons than just thinking that it's going to put in a higher high. So I'm pretty excited to talk about Filecoin because I've done a decent amount of research on this. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going through 1,000 cryptocurrencies. It's not like I know already right now about all 1,000, and so what I've done with Filecoin, I've looked into it, and the thing that really excites me about it is the fact that we're comparing Filecoin. There's other competitors to Filecoin, but the big competitors that I'm hoping that they take on is like the normal cloud services, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Storage, and when I think about things that have happened with companies, corporations, social networks under Amazon's thumb and under Google's thumbs and Apple's thumb, I am very much in the corner of Filecoin. And so we're going to get into all of that. But first things first, yes, I would buy Filecoin in the bear market. I am bullish on it. There's so many things just looking at this all-time chart that has me excited about it. Did it put in a higher high than 2018? It launched pretty late in 2017. So should you count that as its first cycle? I think sure. Yeah, we count that as its first cycle. We count this as its second cycle. It put in a much higher high. It wasn't a long time that it spent at that higher high, but much higher, spent a great deal of time higher than the 2017-2018 peak. That's good to see. Not only that, it is down, 95% from its peak. And in the question that I'm constantly asking myself, do I think that this can put in a higher high next cycle? Yeah, I think Filecoin, I think they could. I think they could put in a higher high. I'm not as confident about it as other cryptocurrencies, but even if it just goes to half of its high from its current price as the day I'm making this video, that's an 11x or close to a 12x in return. So yeah, I'm very excited about this, and I do think that it could put in a higher high for the next cycle. So what can I say about Filecoin just fundamentally? First of all, I do want to point out this is not a proof of work or proof of stake type cryptocurrency. It is proof of you prove that you are a storage miner, that you're providing storage services. So think about it like this. We have miners for Bitcoin that can be anyone around the world as long as they have computing power that's powerful enough, as long as the bottom line is there that they're not spending more in electricity than they are in producing the mining capabilities. Well, Filecoin has storage miners. They have people providing storage all around the world. It's not a ton of people in it now. I just have hopes that this is something that's going to grow over time. But just looking at Filecoin, here are the two definitions: proof of replication and proof of space-time. It's pretty much the same thing. It is people providing storage, proving that they are actually providing storage, and then what they get is a reward in the Filecoin cryptocurrency. And so there's a couple of things that I want to ask when I'm asking this question, and would I buy Filecoin, is what am I looking at here with Filecoin? It's just, so let's actually take a look at Filecoin in comparison to Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud Storage. So you can see on this website, docs.filecoin.io, you can see the differences here. Storing files at a hyper-competitive prices versus storing files using a familiar, widely supported service. Pricing determined by a hyper-competitive open market versus set by corporate pricing departments. Centralization, many small independent storage providers versus a handful of large companies. We could go on and on, independently checked by the network and publicly verifiable. Companies self-report their own stats, etc., etc. But bottom line, is Filecoin cheaper than AWS and then Google Cloud Storage? And the answer to that question is yes. Actually, it's much cheaper. So let's go to that page here. If you can read this on the screen, cost per gigabyte, it's about the same size as a gigabyte per day. For Filecoin per month, it's 0.0000002 cents at current Filecoin prices. Per year, for let's just say a gigabyte, it is 0.0000026 cents. I'm not even going to do the math there, but all right, in comparison to Amazon Web Services, the Filecoin cost is 0.0016% of the cost of Amazon Web Services. So it has that going for it. One thing that we do need to see, we need to see more growth in this network. 794 providers, 960 clients. Now, there is real world blockchain usage for this, but really, I mean, we're talking about a cryptocurrency that's over $1 billion. It's $2 billion in its worth, and it has 960 clients. Now, on one hand, you could look at that and think that that's not a good sign. On the other hand, if this has the potential to be a future of storage, to be an actual competitor to Google and Amazon, we have a long way to go, and you are so early. When we're talking about buying Filecoin, you're early. There's no denying that. And so there's just so much potential with this moving forward. And, you know, this is another one. I made a video on XLM a few days ago, and this is one that I was rooting for XLM. I'm still rooting for XLM because of the opportunities that it provides for real-world application for third-world country individuals who don't have access to banking. I was going to say baking, excuse me. So Filecoin, it's not quite the same thing, but when I think about what it provides, what it can provide, I would say that this is something I'm very much rooting for. I mean, you think about Amazon and Google. I mean, if you're a hardcore progressive liberal, you just love what you're seeing from them. I am personally not a hardcore progressive liberal, and there are things that is just causing me to raise my eyebrows as to the things that they're doing. You know, we can see Parler, a social media website, whether you think that was just a right-wing conspiracy theorist hub, or it was an actual place where they were trying to promote freedom of speech. I tend to think the latter. Here's what Amazon did. They blocked them. They were hosted on Amazon's on their web service, and they just straight up blocked them. And and personally for me, I see Amazon as doing something in that regard that was preventing freedom of speech. However you want to look at it, I am for something that's decentralized. I mean, picture it from the other perspective, from the other side. Let's say that you were a progressive liberal, and Amazon, Google, they were all run by right-wing conservatives. How would you feel if you had a social media network that was being blocked by the right-wing conservative Amazon people or the Google people? It's just something that I am more for general free speech. The famous quote attributed to Voltaire, I may not agree with what you say, but I defend till death your right to say it. And I am generally, and that I think a lot of people who are attracted to cryptocurrencies are in a similar position. I am generally in favor of that. I disagree. If I disagree, I will fight till the death for your right to say it. We're not quite talking about that with Filecoin, but it's something we've seen Amazon and Google play their cards. And if this is truly decentralized, it's truly something where we can use their services without worrying about consequences down the road for things that we believe in, and then I hope that I have a lot of hope for this. I have not heard of anything with Google or Amazon shutting down their web services, their storage for certain white ring conspiracy people, but I could see it happening one day, and personally I would prefer for there to be a decentralized alternative that just pays no attention to where people stand for people to use their services. Just my opinion, but I'm rooting for Filecoin. So yeah, regardless of all of that, you may be steaming right now, or you may be nodding your head in agreement. This chart right here, just looking how far it's down, 95+% down from its all-time high, and the fact that yes, I do believe that this will put in a higher high next cycle, that has me excited, and a lot of other things with Filecoin have me excited for a future bull run, a future euphoria phase. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about Filecoin moving forward? Do you think that, is this something that you would buy in the bear market, or am I just crazy? But yeah, let me know. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Peace.